All right. I'm going to be very careful with this story. I only played this video segment on yesterday's show on Rumble because the R word was used a lot, right? But it's only fair that we do talk about it because there's a bigger fallout. Mr. Snuffleupagus, I mean, George Stephanopoulos, remember him? That douchebag, the guy who was part of the Clinton administration? Yeah, well, Mr. Snuffleupagus is still in some hot water, and boy, oh boy, did people have some words to say about Mr. Snuffleupagus. So let's go ahead and play this video because there is a response, and the media has been responding back. And I find that the way he handled that interview, he kept on repeating the same question over and over again to Representative Nancy Mace. Now, she has endorsed Donald Trump. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not a Republican voter. I'm not a Democrat voter. And obviously, the politicians in Washington D.C. are going to endorse who's going to be running for president. And let's face it, at this point in time, the conversation's over. Trump is the nominee. It's over. It's over. It's over. But yet the liberal establishment media wants to vilify anybody that's associated with Trump. Don't worry, third party and independent voters. They're going to be coming after us very soon by saying, oh, if you vote libertarian, oh, if you vote green, if you vote socialist, if you vote independent, or if you're not going to vote at all, you're still a Trump supporter. Okay, so she endorsed Trump. But he kept on trying to bring up the fact that Trump had, assault charges brought against him. But the thing is, and the next time Representative Nancy Mace runs into Snuffleupagus, I mean, Stephanopoulos, or the next time Nancy Mace runs into any of these vote blue, no matter who, sycophants, just bring up Tara Reid. Bring up what she went through with Joe Biden. Bring up the failures of Me Too and Time's Up. Because, yes, especially to the pink pussy hat crowd out there, I want to be very clear. Me Too and Time's Up failed Tara Reid and many other brave women who came forward. I'm not exaggerating. All right? So let's talk about Mr. Snuffleupagus here. Let's bring him up. Hey, Georgie, take it away. And I apologize for dishonoring the name of Snuffleupagus. At least he's real. This guy, completely fake.
What a kind, sensitive man who clearly cares deeply about women and their sexual assault allegations. Thanks for being an ally, George. I see how concerned you are that victims might not come forward if they are publicly attacked by their rapist or his defenders. To be sure, that is a very real concern. It happens all the time, which you know, because you invented it. Remember? When you created a whole command center designed to smear Bill Clinton's sexual assault and rape accusers so you could elevate him right into the presidency. The attorney representing many of Bill's accusers, and there were many, George, Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willey, Paula Jones, Jennifer Flowers, to name just a few.
I want to pause here. Shout out to my homeboys, tag team champions at Do Dissidents. That's right, giving them a shout out. By the way, I hope Paul as well as the Do Dissidents crew right there. So there you go. Here, look. Do Dissidents tweet this out. They tweet this out. Here's George Snuffleupagus, George Stephanopoulos, in 1992's documentary, The War Room. The title refers to Bill Clinton's campaign headquarters where he and other henchmen worked to smear Clinton's assault. Again, I got to be careful here. The videos can play it out, but I got to be careful because YouTube may not like it. Accusers as bimbos and liars. Georgie, you smug, arrogant prick. Look at that. That's the face, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, vote blue no matter who. There's your dog, right? There's your champion, right? Kept on going after Representative Nancy Mace. Now, look. I got to say, next time Representative Nancy Mace, you run into Georgie boy, bring up Tara Reid. Bring up the War Room. This scumbag piece of shite right here was the architect to help good old Bill Clinton. That's right, liberals. I hope I ruined your morning.
Said you and James Carville, at Hillary Clinton's direction, formed a so-called war room, whose purpose was, quote, to destroy any woman that would challenge Bill Clinton. You know the war room. They made a whole movie about it.
George Stephanopoulos, direct.
Ugh. Just seeing that hair just makes you want to just not only rip it off him, just squeeze his face right off.
Of communications.
Bush was on the defensive. Another good night for Bill Clinton. 3 debates, 3 wins. I guarantee you that if you do this, you'll never work in Democratic politics again.
Whoa, Georgie! Georgie! What, why are you being so mean, Georgie?
Such a tough guy. This attorney points out that you don't like to talk about this particular behavior, George. Maybe that's why you skipped it in your discussion with Nancy Mace. But as you know, private detectives were hired. The women say they were threatened and they were publicly shamed by you and your well-funded team. Did you worry then that this behavior might shame victims from coming forward? You admitted in your own memoir that Hillary Clinton told you about one accuser, quote, "We have to destroy her story." Did you object? Did you say, "That's shaming"? No. In fact, you later described yourself as Bill Clinton's, quote, "enabler." But sir, how could you have enabled and defended a man like this, accused by multiple women of sexual assault, rape, and harassment? Which brings us to Paula Jones. You were Clinton's attack dog when Jones came forward claiming Bill Clinton had exposed himself to her. That when he was governor of Arkansas, he summoned her through state troopers to a Little Rock, Arkansas hotel room and took out his penis, a charge Clinton denies, just as Trump denies E. Jean Carroll's allegations against him.
I want to pause here for a second. I just want to bring up this article here. Representative May says she won't be going on ABC News ever again. Good effing luck. Now, I'm sorry she had to go through that. Representative Nancy Mace said Monday she will not be going on ABC after a heated exchange with host George Stephanopoulos on Sunday. ABC, which, by the way, is owned by Disney. Yes, this is a chance for me to step on Disney because I despise Disney. I think it not only as a movie industry titan, I think I am ever hopeful for its inevitable demise and deconstruction. And for one day to take out the thawed remains of good old Walt himself and expose his soul to the elements. Anyways, I shouldn't be that mean. I shouldn't be that mean to a guy who was a supporter of the Third Reich, right? That's right. That's something that the media wants you to forget. The good old Walt was a big fan of first name Adolf, last name Hitler. I won't be going back on ABC anytime soon. I told him as I was walking out, good effing luck getting me back on, she told News Nations earlier that day. She added, I cursed on my way out. I didn't do it on air, but I was upset. And she should be, because George, boy, oh boy, Georgie, you were not being sensitive, Mr. Snuffleupagus. Mace and Stephanopoulos engaged in a testy debate on Sunday's episode of This Week when he asked her how she could endorse Trump after he was found liable for assault battery and defamation lawsuit with E. Jean Carroll last year. Same E. Jean Carroll that I played a video of her joking with Rachel Maddow about, hey, let's go shopping, because Rachel asked her first a question, what are you going to use that money for to help women? Boy, oh boy, I wish that same question was brought up to Me Too and Time's Up. But what did Miss Carroll say? We're going shopping. We're spending all this money. Buying boats. We're going to France. Getting motorcycles, all of that. Her lawyers had to chime in and says, oh, she's joking. We live in a crazy, evil world out there. It's sensational. But it's crazy. He had opened an interview by playing a clip from 2019 of her delivering testimony about being a victim of assault. Again, got to be careful with the word here. Mace criticized Stephanopoulos for shaming her by asking why she supported Trump throughout her appearance on ABC. Look, she can endorse whoever she wants. At this point, Trump is the nominee. I would be surprised if the Republican Party doesn't coalesce around Donald Trump. I mean, it's over. All the other candidates were lackluster and mediocre. And again, here's old Georgie boy. And I think we all know the Skeletor right behind him. See, liberals vote blue no matter who. We need to talk. We need to talk vote blue no matter who. We need to have a very serious conversation. You and me. You do realize that you're supporting a bunch of hypocrites, vote blue no matter who, and that you're letting Donald Trump live rent-free in your head. And remember, Donald Trump used to be a Democrat, and Donald Trump was good friends with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They were buddies. They were pals. They were friends. Magnificent. Incredible. I know. You're shocked. But you're surrounding yourself and supporting people that don't care about a woman's right to choose or people being safe from assault and harassment. Georgie Boy was in the war room. He was going after all of Bill Clinton's accusers. But I don't think you care, vote blue no matter who. I don't think you care. Because I've said this not only in private with some of my friends and colleagues, but I even said this on the show too. Vote blue no matter who. You don't believe in anything that you say. I remember all the protests, especially during the Trump administration, all those 4 years from 2016 to 2020, and how all the protesters, all the pink pussy hats would gather somewhere downtown Chicago and then march to the Whole Fest protest to Trump Tower. But you never deliver the same energy to a politician's office. You would never do that to any Democrat office here in Chicago, be they a U.S. Senator or House Representative or, hell, maybe any of the local politicians. I don't see any of you delivering that kind of energy, but because it was Donald Trump and he was living rent-free in your head, all you protesters just went right there. You will never do that. In fact, no, you won't do it. You're not going to do it because you don't got the stones to do it. But for somebody like Trump, you'll do it any day. And they'll sheep herd you into those little cages. I remember that one time I covered a protest. I walked out of the line. And I remember I caught it perfectly. It looked like all of you were being herded into a sheep pen by the CPD. I remember that day. I called up Daniel and said, Dan, I'm never covering another protest here again. It's a waste of time. I don't want you to do it. I'm not doing it. These people aren't serious. And no, you're not. Because you're going to bat for somebody like Stephanopoulos. Because, he was going after Representative Nancy Mace because she endorsed Trump. It doesn't matter who sits on the throne, folks. Goldman Sachs is going to have the final say. Vote blue no matter who. You're not serious people. Yeah, you're not serious people. There you go.
What do you think he wanted done with that thing, George? Just a little show and tell? Jones was poor, a graduate of secretarial school, and worked for the state. She had no power, no connections, and he was the sitting governor. She didn't go to Columbia and Oxford and become a Rhodes Scholar like you, George. She was a nothing to you. Your buddy Carville immediately went after Ms. Jones, infamously saying, if you drag a $100 bill through a trailer park, you never know what you'll find. And you?
Hey, George Carville's always on MSNBC too, by the way. Hey, vote blue no matter who. These your dogs. These are your people who you like cheering for you when they're in their debates on BSDNC or CNN. These are the people you go to for advice. Vote blue no matter who. Vote blue no matter who. All you people. And I mean all you people. Honest to God, some days I look at you and I see you wearing a red MAGA hat. Because honest to God, I think secretly, a lot of you vote blue no matter who people want to be just like Trump. I'm just saying, you guys in the vote blue no matter who crowd fit a profile. And I think secretly they all wish they could be like Trump. I think that's what it is. And that's why they're so triggered by Trump. They want to be like him, but they're afraid. It's the truth.
Did you defend Paula Jones saying, we don't shame accusers? That's wrong. No. You compared Jones to Tanya Harding as, quoting here from the New York Times, just another woman seeking cash for telling a tabloid tale. Fire up that war room, George, and destroy her. Bill Clinton would ultimately pay Paula Jones almost $1 million to settle her civil suit against him. And you remained Team Clinton all the way. To say nothing of Juanita Broderick's rape allegation or Kathleen Willie's allegations and more. But now you, quote, don't understand how Nancy Mace can support a man found liable for sexual assault of one woman 30 years ago in a civil trial in which the burden of proof is just 51% likely. My God, how did anyone at ABC think this was a good line of inquiry for George Stephanopoulos, of all people, to pursue?
The reason why probably ABC News ran with it is because they're a corporation and they have a narrative and they have a small-brained audience. That's my answer to Megyn Kelly about, you know, why ABC News went with it, because they're corporate. They're more in line with the Democrats. Disney had its little back and forth with Donald Trump and all this other stuff back in the day. So, you know, and not to mention, you know, a lot of their recent films, especially in Disney, which owns ABC, you know, they usually have a story that's somewhat influenced by Trump, because after all, from 2016 through 2020, all the movies that were coming out, everyone was triggered by Donald Trump, and a lot of the movies that were coming out, all those news outlets that are no longer around would say, this movie reflects how bad Trump is. This movie reflects how terrible Trump is. Hey, look, there's Mr. Carville right there, Mr. Skeletor, and Mr. Snuffleupagus himself. Champions of the Vote Blue, no matter who, sycophant crowd. Here's Tara Reid. This, Megyn Kelly calls it the hypocrisy of George Stephanopoulos when he attacked Nancy Mace. Thank you, Megyn Kelly. The elite Democrats, Clinton, Obama, Biden lapdogs, are notorious for smearing assault victims if they are accusing a Democrat. Sadly, Clinton and Biden will never face investigation for their crimes. Ask me. I know what Biden did, and so does, hold on, Janita Broderick. That's right. Know what Bill Clinton did. I'm sorry that Representative Nancy Mace went through that. I am sorry that she had to go through that nightmare scenario. No one should go through something that horrible. And it really says a lot about Georgie Boy himself and what kind of individual he is. We live in a day and age where corporate media wants to smear anyone who comes forward. And if you go after a Democrat, you're a villain. And we've seen the double standard. That's why we got to break corporate media, and we got to break these institutions that control it. If we don't do it, nothing's going to change.